Okay, example one, finding the mean from a grouped frequency table. Um, so what we've got now is we've got a column in our table called f times x, or fx. Now, what you're doing with that, you've got this is a grouped frequency table, so obviously you've got your class and your class center. What we're doing is we're multiplying our frequency column by our class center column, which is basically the same as adding them together and going 3 plus 3. Okay, so you're adding however many of those we've got. We've got two of them, so 2 times 3 will give us 6. Now, the reason we're using the class center is it gives us an average of what's in that class. So if you didn't have class centers, then you'd just do the score times the frequency. But in this particular case, we are doing the class center times that. So on each of the rows, you're just doing your frequency times your class center. So in this particular one, we've got 3 times 2. Next one is 9 times 8, which is 72. 11 times 13, which is 143. 18 times 13. Yes, you can use a calculator to sort these out. Some of them you won't need to, but sometimes you will. So that's what you get. Now, if you have a look at this one, they've got rid of the class column, not that they needed to, and they've got fx, and that's what you'll see rather than f times x. But you've got the 6, the 72, the 143, the 234, 230, 140, and then the total, which will give you 825. And if we add up the frequency, we're going to have 50, because you need both of those. So that's the total frequency and the total f times x. So what it wants us to do is actually find out the mean. Now, the mean is the average. And with the average, what you do is you add up the scores and divide by the number of scores. Now, the add up the scores, funnily enough, is fx. So we've taken every score. We use the class centers, but we've taken every score. There's 2 of the 3s, there's 9 of the 8s, there's 11 of the 13s, there's 13 of the 8s, and so on and so forth. And so we've added up all the scores. And then the number of scores is our F column. So by doing this table, we've actually got the things we need. So there is the sum of scores divided by the number of scores. If we're using the proper terminology, sum of scores is, yes, hate to tell you this, it is sigma x. That's correct. And the number of scores is n. So that's the actual mathematical symbols we use for it. So the average, or the mean, and the way we write the mean is x with a bar on top, is equal to the sum of all the scores divided by the number of scores. So the sum of all our scores in the minute, if I get rid of the f of x and all that, is 825, and the number of scores is 50. So we will do 825 over 50, which will actually give us, and I should have actually, so n is also the sum of frequency. So I'll actually change that to sum of frequency just so it looks better. So we do 825 over 50, which gives us 16.5. So that is our mean. So our mean number of points is 16.5.